So today we are going to talk about a book that has to do with seances and spirits and things from the beyond. And that book is My Darling Dreadful Thing by Johanna Van Veen. This book follows the story of the main character, whose name is Roos, and she lives with Mama, this woman she calls Mama, that isn't really her mama. And together they perform seances. Now, Roos, her father is in the service, he's overseas, and so this woman, her father has paid to take care of her. Well, her father is unfortunately killed while on active duty, and so the woman she lives with, that she calls Mama, decides, all right, now you gotta pay your way by staying here, so you're gonna help me with my seances and whatnot. She has Roos go down in this room under the floor where, she has strings and stuff so she can make stuff fall and make noises, and people think it's ghosts and spirits, so that this woman can scam people. But when she's under there, Roos meets Ruth, who is this really creepy spirit that's all like turns different colors. Sometimes she's green, sometimes she's black, sometimes she's brown, sometimes she's gray. Her jaw's broken and hanging off, and she's just really creepy. And Ruth thinks she wants to eat her and eat her blood. And then one day she accidentally bleeds on Ruth, this weird spirit that's under the floor with her. When that happens, Ruth's jaw becomes fixed. And then Ruth speaks for the first time. And then all of a sudden, Ruth has a spirit attached to her. And once the spirit's attached to her, they become friends, and she's not really afraid of Ruth anymore. Ruth becomes somewhat of a protector of her. But when Mama finds out that she's got this spirit connected to her, she wants to use her for her seances. Scam more people, get more money, if it's kind of like legit, because she does have a spirit, because Mama's greedy. What I liked about this book, which was pretty much most of it, it grabs you right away. It pulls you right into the story. It is a weird, disturbing, and creepy, very atmospheric. It's gothic fiction. It's one of those stories, too, that flips between, some stories flip between like past and present. This one flips between like this doctor's, I wouldn't call it a journal, but this doctor's notes on his patient, which is Bruce, the psychologist, kind of like doing a case profile of her, because later on in this book there is a death that occurs. They're trying to decide if she is sane or insane. So the story flips between that, which I know for some people stuff like that can be jarring, so you may not like that. You may like it. I don't know. I don't mind, because you get backstory and it gives you more details into the weirdness of this whole situation. So, like I said, the writing was super addictive. It pulled me right in. I like the characters. I like the character development. I like the weird spirits that are in this book and just how they're described, and how the people, like Ruth and Ruth, their relationship and how that goes, and how this entity is very protective of her. And then one day, this wealthy widow, Agnes Noop, comes to a seance. I think she's been going to other seances. Her husband had passed away, and she inherited his estate and lives on this big piece of land with the sister of the brother. And it seems like, she's going to seances maybe to contact her husband or and what have you. And when she sees Ruth and how Ruth reacts, it seems like she's like, okay, this one might be legit. But also, Ruth, who is the spirit attached to Ruth, is like, I think she can see me. And so Agnes actually ends up like buying Ruth, because Mama is a greedy old butthole. That's me saying it nicely. She sucks. So she buys Ruth, and Ruth is happy to go with her and get away from this horrible woman. Oh, also, Mama was racist. She was starving her, and she would sometimes beat her with a birch switch in the legs so no one could see. Cool. People didn't always treat Ruth the best, and her mama was just basically trying to exploit her. So she is happy to get the F out of Dodge. So she goes to live with Agnes. And so then you follow the story of Agnes, what happened to her husband, what's going on with the husband's sister, who is very ill. And are there maybe some weird ghosts on this property too? I don't know. And it's also a love story of sorts. It's a horror romance, so it's not like super romance, and it's not the focus of the story. It's in the undercurrents, I would say. And it's great. It's disturbing. It's weird. I enjoyed the strange alleys and places that the story goes. And I liked a lot how the spirits were portrayed. It's not a scary horror per se, but there's definitely anxiety inducing parts of the story. It's just creepy and weird, and I love those sort of things. So I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely recommend it if you like weird books about seances and spirits that are attached to people and how they behave. Are they good? Are they bad? Were the shades of gray? That's in this book. And also some sapphic romance. So, it's got a lot of stuff going on, and I think it was pretty fantastic. And if you like books that are about seances, the next video coming up will be about the book The London Seance Society, which was a book of the month a while back. And that was another one that I liked quite a bit that had to do with seances. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back to me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.